Hey, everybody. This is Matt and Charlie, and this is the first of what we hope is going to be many of the Four Saints virtual happy hour tastings. And tonight we are actually featuring, and I'm hoping this works, but it's not going to show the entire can. There he is, St. Luke. We love St. Luke. St. Luke's
Nice,
good beer.
nice.
It's a tasty, tasty beer. So I'm Matt. Some of you that are in the tap room all the time may not know exactly who I am because I'm never there. You see me at some of the events. I am the sales rep right now for Piedmont Triad and beyond, and some hit or miss spots here and there. And I've been working with Four Saints. It'll be 5 years this July. Oddly enough, that's it was 7-Eleven. That's my hire date. It was
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. So, of all things, beer and convenience and goodness, and so that's there. I live in Asheboro. I've been here for a pretty good while. I've known the guys with the brewery for a pretty good while. If you had to ask me my favorite style of beer, I'm probably a funky saison guy or like a big barrel aged English barley wine type of guy. But I have no qualms with any other style, and I like drinking beer. What about you, Charlie?
See, I'm Charlie. I've been with Four Saints 2 years as of I think Monday,
Yep.
Monday or Friday, or something like that. Wow,
Happy
time's
beer
passed.
anniversary.
Yeah, no shit. It's definitely flown by. Some of y'all know me from the tap room. I was a bartender for a year and a half, up until late November, early December. I took over doing the sales rep position for the Triangle region, so mainly Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, uh, anywhere you can think of in that general vicinity is where I'm at.
Fuqua. Fuqua
Yeah,
Varina.
Fuquay. Yeah, Fuquay, Holly Springs, Apex, Cary, we're all over the place. My favorite beer style, fortunately and unfortunately, is sours. I say unfortunately because I remember there was a brief period of time where I never thought sours would be a thing, but now it's mainly what I drink at all times. Um,
Yeah, we've both done
yeah,
delivery work for the brewery as well.
yeah,
That
we
was
did
my
delivery work.
first,
I've been
events.
I've been in the industry for close to 6, 7 years now. Got my start with Tight Lines Pub and Brewing Company out in Moorhead City. Still love
Hey,
going
tight
back to
lines.
visit. So, oh yeah, hey guys.
Well,
Yeah,
hopefully we'll get them dialed in. Maybe we can shoot some notes down to the guys at the coast there,
that'd be cool.
and
Yeah.
kind of go from there. So it's a very strange time right now. This is kind of why we're getting into doing virtual tastings because after having been at home and working from home for a while, you probably don't want to sit next to me at the bar, even if I were there. That's just the reality of it. I my beard is not
Look at
kempt.
that.
Look at that. Look at that pretty pour of beer.
Perfect.
It's gorgeous. I need to open mine up. But no, what we're doing is we're tasting through. We're going to do these on a weekly basis, hopefully, and we're going to taste through and sample what beers we have coming out. That way, if you've never tried it, you can kind of get an idea of what we're sipping on. And St. Luke just happened to be the first one. Um, so, quick history and overview of good old St. Luke. Uh,
Go ahead and take a sip. Sorry.
yeah, have some, have some. St. Luke was a healer way back in the day. Um, and he liked to do things like mixing together potions to make you feel better, um, which could very well be honey or ginger or herbs or roots or alcohol, which makes us all feel a little bit better here and there. So St. Luke is a honey and ginger English pale. And we asked Andrew, our brewer extraordinaire, why was this the story? And so he told us that he had found a few interesting recipes out of Radical Brewing and thought, well, let's play with this and see what can happen. So the recipe he pulled up, he said, East Kent Golding is good and woody. That particular hop is there, and the Maris Otter malt and the Crystal all play well with honey. So he said, let's put honey and ginger in it. So the first few iterations of good old St. Luke, when we were making it, way back when, came out around 9% alcohol and had almost a mead quality, It was still obviously carbonated, and it was an ale, and it had hops, but you could definitely get some honey. The ginger back when too was it was candied ginger, and we've actually switched over. This most recent batch is fresh ginger, and last year's was fresh ginger too. So we retweaked the recipe. This batch is 5.3 percent alcohol by volume, whereas the early versions were, considerably higher, good solid 3.5% higher, and it was delicious. So St. Luke being a healer, we decided to use the beer with the honey and the ginger as a healing component. And what we're going to do is kind of go back and forth and, go through a proper tasting. So, of proper beer tastings, Charlie, I think it was temperature, the aroma. What else am I missing? Texture,
Temperature, aroma, smell,
smell,
sight,
sight. Yeah, how it looks.
how it looks. Yep. The clarity, the
You've already had a
viscosity.
taste. So my camera does weird things, guys. My camera, because I have the background. Yeah, you can actually see the beer there on Charlie's screen. It's a gorgeous, kind of an orange honey color to an extent. It's actually a pretty good clarity. So the ideal temperature for this is not ice cold. You always want to use a room temp, clean beer clean glass. That way the beer gets the best treatment that it possibly can. So when you pour your beer, take a second. It's going to be hard to not just immediately dive in. I've been staring at my beer here for probably a good minute and a half, 2 minutes. I really want to
Well,
take
your beer
that
keeps
first sip.
disappearing, so you want
Yeah,
to hold it in front of you.
I have to do this just right here. So my beer. So there are a couple tips and tricks with this. So to actually go through site, look at it. I mean, we know it's pretty. You've looked at the beer. If you go through the smell and aroma, so the aroma makes up 80% of flavor, I do believe. So if you take a sniff, you can do it a couple ways. Now you can waft it, like throw your hand towards your face, and if you do that, you can get some stuff, or you can get deep down in. Take quick.
I love to stick my nose in it.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. What are you smelling on this?
Oh, you can definitely smell. You can smell a little bit of the hops. The weird thing is about smell and taste are two different things because you can smell the hops in this beer, but they're not absolutely. It's from smelling it and then tasting it, it's completely different presence.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very present in the smell as to where not so much in the taste.
And then I get that ginger as well. The ginger right up on top. It doesn't smell like ginger ale, but it smells like fresh cut ginger. That if you take it and just actually cut a ginger root up, it's kind of what I get on the nose. And
Which
it's
is the nice little honey, flavor
yeah,
to it too. It kind of smooths everything out. And as in the past, this beer used to be 9%, and now we're at was it 5.3.
uh-huh.
So it's definitely more sessionable. In the past, I remember hearing people that there's a lot of ginger presence, and then there was more honey presence. So now this one is more well balanced,
Yeah,
I would say.
I agree with you 100%. It's times past when we would use the candied ginger, it would come out and you could taste that super sweet, like candied ginger part of it. But now it's not like ginger juice by any means, but you get the honey and you get like the quality of the honey, you can tell. So the honey we use actually comes from just up the road here in Greensboro. There's an apiary up there, and they provide us with really quality stuff. And it's neat too. You can tell different year to year. The honey tastes different because the plants are different and the bees are
of course,
pollen sources. But it's pretty fantastic. I do think so.
Oh yeah, no, I love it, and the clarity of it. I mean, it definitely has more of an ale redness tint to it. Most definitely. It's just delicious. I mean, this is fantastic.
But another thing too is we get to actually sit down and drink beer with you guys. This is a lot of fun. We've been Charlie and I have been talking for the last probably 2 hours, I guess, and sipping beer back and forth. So, per tip, or maybe spoiler alert, this is not the first beer I've had today. So,
no comment.
No comment. But no, it's going down the list. So you're looking at it, the side, it looks really good. It's almost honey color. It's orange. It's kind of a orangish red. It looks like, fresh honey that you would get from some farm stand or something. The texture of the beer, how does it feel like in the mouth, and is it super fizzy, or that's another part of doing a legit beer tasting is, hey, what's the deal? So with this, for me, it's nice and smooth. There is enough carbonation without it being super bubbly, so you don't want
Hmm.
that champagne. Like I've had some beers like Brut IPAs that are just like super super duper carbonated, and you can get through like 3 sips and then all of a sudden you're just burping your face off, and that's that's okay for some beers, but this doesn't do it. So if you're
Nah,
wanting a beer that's nice and gentle, easy carbonation, it's not
no,
not really astringent at all.
it definitely has a like a almost like a velvet flavor on the tongue.
Hmm.
Nice and smooth, easy drinking. Like you definitely get that honey, and the ginger has a nice little accents to it, and the hops come through. The hops are there, but they were definitely not. Um, it's not overpowering. It doesn't
Yeah,
overpower anything else. It's perfectly well balanced,
yeah,
and
I'm
that's
with you.
all you can really ask for in a beer at any times is something to be well balanced. You see crazy beers that are going on there. Oh, it has this and this and this in it, and it's like
Yeah,
that's a lot to go into a
yeah.
beer, but for it to be balanced and with a nice taste of the palate is fantastic.
It'd be really easy to just kind of play funny with this and let's throw some marshmallow and some clove or a bunch of lactose, or you could doll it up whichever way. But this beer is Maris Otter crystal malt. It is East Kent Golding and Target hops, ESB yeast, and honey. I mean, obviously water too, but that's it. That's all there is to it.
Mhm.
And to be able to find this level of balance with ingredients that can be like ginger, you can go over the top real fast, real quick with ginger. It can be super overpowering, but it's so nice that it's not. I've had other ginger beers, and I like ginger ale. If I'm not having a beer, it might be a 7 and 7 or a ginger ale and whiskey or something like that. I love ginger ale, but this is not your typical ginger
I,
flavor.
I actually feel bad because I made the joke the other day that hey, if we ever decided to do a seltzer beer, I think this would actually be perfect
Hmm.
because it has that honey, ginger, and that the nice smoothness to it. To where yeah, if they really carbonated this, I poolside, going fishing,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah. You could do some
it,
fun stuff with this beer.
oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a little
But
squeeze
yeah,
of lime in it. I've actually done a squeeze of lime before
really,
in St. Luke. Yeah, and put like a little bit of lime around the rim of your glass, and not you don't have to do anything else to it, but just that makes enough of a difference for me. It's a tasty beer by itself. It's really good and does actually pair well with a bunch of different foods too. So I know when we've done this beer before, I've picked up takeout, and I love sushi and Chinese food and Japanese
yes.
food. But this beer and sushi, or like lo mein, or some fattier meat, and then noodle dishes, or dumplings, or something like that. And you're gonna laugh when I throw this one at you, probably. Apple pie in this beer.
I can see that though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Apple pie. Now I'm probably gonna catch flack on this. Don't come to my house with pitchforks. Apple pie with a slice of cheddar cheese on top of it is really like a savory and sweet,
Hey, get
but with
get the
this.
pitchfork. Get the
No,
pitchfork.
I earned it. I earned it. I came by that one honestly, but no, apple pie, roast pork chops or something like this. Some savory spice meat in whatever form. One recommendation I can make is, now that the Urban Street Grill is doing these drop off dinners, if you have a chance to order one and pick it up at the brewery, get you a 4 pack of this. You will not find a better pairing. The food doesn't matter. You go bulgogi, you go spicy pork. It is absolutely phenomenal. The pairing
I
between
could
that.
actually just go really well with like a like salmon or like a really
Hmm.
good fish.
Hmm.
'Cause even though with certain sushi, ginger is supposed to cleanse the palate. No, you're not supposed to put it on top of the fish.
Right, right,
But and that always irritates me when I see people do that. They're like, oh yeah, the
right.
ginger goes on top of the fish. No,
You're
it does
sushiing
not.
wrong. You are doing it
Yes.
wrong.
No,
pitchforks.
but
I will get the pitchfork for that one for sure.
so for a really good palate cleanser too, especially between meals, if you're sitting down somewhere and you're having if you're gonna have an appetizer, you're gonna have a meal, an entree, and then have a dessert. I mainly got my first start in waiting tables and bartending in fine dining, and this literally I could serve this for every course. That's where we used to sell a different glass of wine for your appetizer, your entree, and then your dessert. I could literally find you a way to where you can have this beer straight on through
Yep.
and enjoy every bit of it. Um, with cheese, if you're gonna
Oh
have a
yeah.
certain, well, if you're gonna have a certain like say your appetizer is a side salad, this go really good with I would say like a blue cheese or
Yep.
um,
A
maybe like an
camembert.
Italian. Yeah, Italian. You
So
can do Catalina, something French, and drinking afterwards would really touch base just with the honey and the ginger
yep.
coming through. It would accent those flavors. As far as meals concerned, you could do, like I said, salmon would probably be fantastic.
Yeah. I can definitely see that
Mm.
working out really well. Salmon would be fantastic with it. Um, and
Just go with
then
dessert, like something maybe like a little like a caramel or
yes,
maybe like a cheesecake. I mean,
yeah,
shit,
cheesecake with this would be just fantastic.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah. That would be really good, man. That would be yeah, give me some cheesecake with this.
hmm
Maybe some glazed apples on top of a
Some
cheesecake.
turtle
Yeah.
turtle
Now you
cheesecake.
see now
Yes,
that's what I'm
yeah,
talking about. So we're making everybody at home
yes.
hungry. I'm hoping everyone's already I know it's 7:30, but I know you guys have probably maybe already had food to eat. But if not, get you a beer and get you something else, some snacks. You can get you a bag of Chex cereal if you want to just go fancy and just eat it right out of the box. I'm not being serious, or am I? Can you tell?
No, no. They actually have the candy Chex Mix you can get in the stores now.
Oh, I just
Has
mean
like M&Ms and
just straight up
frosted.
Chex, just straight
Yeah,
cereal. Yeah, man, this is quarantine, baby. I just eat right out the box. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's easy to go through. This beer is phenomenal. It's a blessing now that it's much more laid back as far as approachability, as far as alcohol content. Being able to sit down and have two of these and just not feel like you're absolutely 3 sheets, 4 sheets, however many sheets it takes. Um,
yeah.
it's nice. I know we've had a good response to it in the tap room in years past. St. Luke has always been a lot of fun. There are people out there, I do believe, that have St. Luke, the glassware that we released with this beer last year.
I think I
If
do
you
too, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say anyone that does have that, if you don't mind, take a picture. If you get the St. Luke, take a picture of this beer in that glass and tag it like Luke at FSBC, or not at FSBC, hashtag Luke FSBC or something like that. So we're gonna keep a look on that, and there might be something special coming for the people that play along. If you got that glass, and if you don't, you can use that tag as well. It's not like we're trying to exclude anyone.
And if you can find your local area too, this is actually the first time we were canned St.
Mm-hmm.
Luke.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we were canned it, and we actually decided to go the label. We decided to use a typical. This is almost a playoff of what we use for the tap room
Mm-hmm.
for our crowlers. So it's a special release written right on it. Of course, I'm mirrored, so it's if you can read St. Luke backwards.
Imagine it.
Um, no, I mean the label and everything. I think the idea behind it was really cool. If you're gonna during these times, it's been really difficult just to really do anything, and crawlers are something that we've done a lot of, and that's through especially the tap room. So if you come through, you may not get one of those, but to have this label, to see it elsewhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Absolutely.
almost feel like you almost feel like you're right at home in the tap room.
Yeah.
So
In a time and age now where beer cans are more and more abstract, I guess it's good
mhm.
to see something with our logo, and our logo is on all of our beers, but to see a big logo with Four Saints on there out at your local Lowe's Foods or Best Way or Gate City Growlers or Beer Co. Or speaking of that, any one I just rattled off there, I think these beers have already gone out to these cats. If not already this week, then they were there last week or they're coming up this coming week. So if you're looking for this beer, you're in Randolph County. The easiest place probably is just come straight through the tap room and knock it out. But if you're looking for further information, the Four Saints Brewing website has a list on there. You can actually go hit up and say it's a beer finder. So it'll say, hey, look, this person's purchased beer from us. You can check that out and figure out where it's at. And you can ask in the chat too. So just throw it out there. Hey, where's the nearest location for me? And we'll figure it out and go from there. I know as far as my accounts, we've got this beer in Hickory right now, which is a good stretch. Winston-Salem's got this beer. Locations through Greensboro, locations through out towards Elon and Burlington out that way. So pretty much a good wide swath of land that has this beer ready to go. And I know your guys have been. I know it's been going out to RDU as well.
Yeah, we're just through all through RDU. We're in a handful Lowe's Foods out that way. Ball shot off the top of my head. I mean, it's been quite a few different places. Nothing really off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
At the moment.
Yeah. There's a huge difference in how many bottle shops are out your area too, though. So it's
yeah.
I could name off a dozen in probably one breath and not cover an entire zip code or close to it. So there's a lot. There's a lot of people out there.
There's a lot, yeah, and thank you to them as well for sticking with us and through these hard times. Lowe's Foods has been definitely grateful to all of us, and the bottle shops that have stayed open, the restaurants that are still chugging along, and I know phase 2 is coming up, but to be able to, a lot of people have been doing this even before, and it was announced, like, cool, we're gonna do what we can while we can, and those people have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Not only to us, but to their communities as well.
Yeah, they've been going through and supporting as much local as they possibly can, and it's refreshing to see everyone really step up and act out. The support local is not just a saying that you see on a koozie or something. It's a way of life, and without that, I don't know that I would be able to be sitting here talking about beer and drinking local beer. That's just that's the clean cut version of it. So moving forward with these other tastings, so we released St. Luke. We had a killer beer that we did with Mason Jar Lager Company, More Than a Little. We've got Bandwagon. We also have Hedrick's Hefeweizen. So of those 4, we've covered one with this video. In the weeks to come, we also have some more beers coming. I don't really want to talk about it yet, but we're going to have our first big boy can. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yes.
It's a big can. It's
not
a 32-ounce can. I know, but
some people have actually already had it in a tap room.
Oh, that's right.
We've already had it in tap room.
That's right. Well, I don't know. I'll sit on that one. Go ahead. Go ahead. You do it.
So Day Domination, as we're going to release it in 19.2 ounce cans. Nice big boys. Not too big, but perfect. And those are ready to go. Was it next week on the 20th?
Yeah, 20th is canning on that one. That'll be our American Light Ale. So it's coming in, pretty tasty. 19.2.
That's our collaboration with Cox Harley-Davidson, correct?
I don't know. I don't know if that one is or not. I have to find out for certain. I'll dig that one up. I think so. I know Pit Viper is coming back as well. So we'll have a great big boy can, and then we'll have a 12-ounce can. So we're gonna have some stuff in between here and there
too. And some Potter's Clay too.
That's right. I'm super excited about Potter's Clay coming back in cans.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, it's been a pretty quick 24, 25 minutes or so. We're gonna both be in chat. So if you have any questions, definitely fire them off. We'll answer them as we see them pop up. And until next time, I'm going to raise my glass to everyone involved. Charlie, thank you for hanging out with me. Folks,
thank you, bud.
Support your local breweries. We love you. We would not be here without you. Whether that means
beer's disappearing again.
It's going to disappear here real soon. Whether that means, popping through and ordering a crowler or picking up some beer at the tap room, or if you see Four Saints out in the market and supporting it, we really do appreciate you. And we will hang out for a little bit longer in the chat, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Cheers.